Let's go. Hey guys, welcome back to another video. This time I'm gonna be doing it's actually something that I posted this morning on my Twitter. So, once I show it to you, I'm gonna go a little bit more in depth on what exactly happened. And stuff like that, without showing you the actual conversation, mostly because it's just full of bigotry and it's full of hate. It is full of hate. Not from me, but from the other side. So, let's go on ahead and get into this here. Alright, so this is my post that I made this morning. So, it says, unfortunately, I forgot the C in this, but this is actually going to be my end-all be-all when it comes to, Renfamous and everything like that. So like that. I mean, I'm still gonna seek any, new information that comes out, and I'm gonna report it to you guys, but at the same time, I'm not gonna go after Ren. Because the whole situation last night made me realize something that I really think everyone here needs to know. Granted, a lot of the other guys have known this for a while, I'm assuming, but I'm just really slow at stuff like this, and so it just takes me. Sometimes it just needs to be beaten into me, and so I'm not saying that in a malicious type of way, but sometimes I just need to learn by example, and this was actually a really good one. So this is what I posted. Hashtag I stand with Vic community. I feel like I made a fool of myself last night. I tried proving a point to one of Vic's enemies, but they ended up using my faith against me. After asking Jesus to forgive me and attempting and failing to get any traction on an apology, it made me realize something. These people will go to any lengths to destroy. If you can't tell, I was using Siri for the most part, because when I posted this, it was like 6 o'clock in the morning, and I didn't really feel like, typing it all out. But anyway, these people will go to any lengths to destroy you and further their own narrative. They will stomp over people with special needs like myself. For those who don't know and are new to this channel, I have cerebral palsy as well as ADHD, and so those two things make me very. They don't hold me back, but at the same time, I don't really like people taking advantage of it negatively, of either of them negatively, which is exactly what the people in the chat actually did. And so they will stomp over people with special needs like myself. They don't care who they hurt. They even ask people to kill themselves, which is immoral. Which, by ask people to kill themselves, I simply mean that basically I saw a screenshot where or a thread or something like that, where one of the voice actors literally told someone to knock themselves out, in other words, kill themselves. And so that's what I was going for with that, which is immoral, and it isn't a moral offense. It isn't a moral offense. You should never tell someone to do that, especially someone that's struggled with depression and suicidal tendencies. You shouldn't tell them that whatsoever. But anyway, let's continue. But, and I meant to put what here, but Siri got it as another but anyway. But what they can't do is stop this movement. They can't stop us from fighting for what we believe in. They absolutely hate the concept of accountability or taking responsibility for what they've done. They refuse to listen to reason, and the moment you question them logically, they immediately run and block you rather than actually debate. They claim that we are the morons. Well, to anyone on that side reading this, have you looked in the mirror lately? And so, as you can see, this has gotten a lot of traction and stuff. And so, because what these people want you to do essentially is, they want you to stoop to their level. They want you to stoop to their level and to abandon your core belief system. With people like Ren and those who support her. And I almost did that last night, and I felt disgusted with myself for doing that. Now, I immediately asked for forgiveness. I immediately asked for forgiveness and for Jesus to cleanse me about that. But the point still stands. These guys, they don't care who they hurt. They don't care that the person on the other side of the screen that they're attacking has a handicap. They don't care that the person on the other side might have family that needs taken care of. They don't care if they're going through a bad time. It's a lot like these voice actors with their fans. Their claims that they're doing this for the fans are completely nonsensical at this point. Because the majority of them, if they cared about the fans whatsoever, and if they cared about their contracts whatsoever, and upholding them, they would have stayed at KamehamehaCon. They would not have breached their contracts. They would not have threatened to walk if Vic was brought back. They would not be blaming the fans for bringing all of this stuff about them into the limelight. They would not be blaming YouTubers like myself for bringing all of this into the limelight. But I have a new theory on why they might have walked. Simply put, given Ty Beard's comments in one of Nick Rikita's live streams, Ty said something along the lines of that he was going to be attending KamehamehaCon. Not sending autographs or anything, but that he was... I think he said something along the lines of he was just going there for support or something. Which, I mean, I'm totally fine with that. I'm totally fine with that, don't get me wrong. But I have a feeling that the moment the VAs heard that on that stream, they immediately began panicking. Because not only was Vic Mignogna coming back to KamehamehaCon, but one of the members of his legal counsel was coming to KamehamehaCon. And so now they have two things to worry about. One, Vic himself, which, honestly, what do you have to worry about when it comes to Vic? I mean, other than the awkwardness of the situation. I mean, this is a guy that you literally got kicked out of a lot of conventions and ruined his life. Or his livelihood, rather. So, number one, through some twisted type of reality, they have to worry about Vic. But two, and even more concerning, is Ty Beard himself, because this guy is literally one of Vic's legal counsel men, and the fact that they breached their contracts. Was not only a ploy to keep up this facade, in my opinion, but it also showed a severe lack of responsibility. Because here's the thing, Monica has stated that she's looking for another venue to do the signing. And here's the thing, I was watching Nick's live stream last night, the one where they talked about the contracts and all that. With Emish's live. And in the contract, it states something, I believe it said something along the lines of, if you breach a contract, or even if you don't breach a contract, if you're under contract to appear somewhere, you can't appear within 50 miles of the designated area within 60 days before or after the event. And on top of that, the fact that... Okay. Oh man, this is becoming a ramble, and I didn't mean for it to. you guys are just gonna have to bear with me here until I get this all out. They're saying, if you look at these voice actors' statements, Monica said that she was concerned for her safety. Jason Douglas said something similar. Someone else said something similar. Someone else said something similar. I don't remember the other two names. And if anyone else has left, I'm sorry if I didn't say their name. Regardless, they all say that they're afraid for their safety in some way or another. Here's the thing. Being afraid for your safety under this contract, now granted the contract that Nick was reviewing wasn't a Kamehacon one, but it was a guest contract and a con. And so you can imagine that they're pretty similar, if not completely the same. In the contract, it states that you can only leave, or you can only cancel your appearance for a understandable emergency. Like, for example, say that, I don't know, the week before you were hospitalized or something. You were hospitalized, a family member passed, you know, something like that that's completely understandable. Something along those lines are the only means of getting out of a convention contract like that. And the fact that they're saying that they're afraid for their safety is a slap in the face. Not just to the con, but to the fans. Because these fans are coming from all over the place to meet these people. And yet, because Vic Mignogna has been brought back, they say, "Whoa, Vic's coming back, we gotta peace out." There were a lot of people claiming that Nick Rikita doesn't know what he's talking about. Well, I'm no lawyer. I'm just a seminary student. So I don't know the first thing about, you know, legal entanglements or anything like that. But I do know when someone knows what they're talking about, and I do know to give credit where credit's due. Nick, if you're watching this, you're doing a wonderful job. You're doing a wonderful job. Thank you so much for fighting for Vic and for fighting for the fans and for the con. And, you know, I mean, you're just doing a great job, man. You're doing a wonderful job. And I admire your determination to fight for him. For the con, for the fans. To fight against this faction of people that are really now the minority here. But there are, like I said, there are people out there that are saying that Nick doesn't know what he's talking about. And to those people, in case any of them by chance happens to watch this, saying that Nick doesn't know what he's talking about when he's a fully licensed attorney who passed the bar, who assumedly passed the LSAT, hopefully hasn't had to take the MPRE yet, saying that he doesn't know what he's talking about when he's a fully licensed lawyer and he has a lot of experience. Not with these types of cases, but just with cases in general. Saying that he doesn't know what he's talking about is like saying that Ramsey doesn't know how to cook. He has a degree in it. He has a degree in it. He has multiple TV shows. He has a lot of ways to, you know, to show that he knows exactly what he's talking about. I mean, jeez. I also mentioned something interesting in the chat that I think you guys would all like to hear. In the chat, someone mentioned that testimony is all you need, or something along those lines, and that the testimony without any evidence is just fine. Saying that is like saying that in order to write a major paper that you have for a class, like say a thesis for a major. Like, I know from my master's, I'm gonna have to do a thesis, which is basically a gigantic paper of stuff. What that stuff is, I don't know yet. I'm still a long way away from the master's. I'm currently working for the bachelor's right now. But the point still stands. saying that all you need is evidence, all you need is testimony and hearsay, is the equivalent of saying that you can write a full-on sentence with just one word. I honestly don't know what else to say on this, to be honest. This whole thing, I mean, the more it goes on and the more I'm pulled into it, the more depressed I get. At least by people on the KickVic side. I'm down with Vic side, I'm like, yeah, let's keep going. But the more I hear these KickVic people, and the more I hate these and the more I hear these voice actors screaming and crying wolf, the more I actually want the wolf to come. And the more depressed it makes me. Because, I mean, I'm pretty sure, obviously we all want to know the full truth. We all want to know the full story. I mean, if some evidence does come up against Vic, then by all means, you know, do with him what you see fit. But at this moment, and it looks like it's gonna continue to be there has not been a shred of irrefutable evidence to connect him to any of these accusations. And the people out there that are insisting that they have something are really grasping at straws. Because Jamie Marker herself full-on admitted, I covered this in my previous Vic video, she full-on admitted that they have nothing. They have absolutely nothing, and that they can only hope that someone comes forward who was a minor when this happened. And again, they're blaming fans, they're blaming YouTubers like myself, they're blaming Nick especially. They're blaming all of us for something that was their fault. And I'm gonna reiterate this. Again, this'll finish up this video. Ah, geez, gonna have to do a lot of editing, I think. Funimation, Jamie, Monica, if any of you are watching this video, if you didn't want any of this to come up, if you didn't want any of your hypocrisy to be called out about this, maybe, just maybe, you shouldn't have fired Vic Mignogna in the first place. And I'm certain the voice actors, if they're watching this, are screaming about how they're entitled. And no one can touch them. Well, I'm sorry. No one is free from the arm of the law. No one is free from the arm of the law. Or untouchable by it. Anyway, I'm gonna keep covering the Stand With Vic side, but as far as the KickVic side goes, I'm just done. I'm just done because these guys, their comments about not just my content, but about me as a person? As a person. Not even the online me. The real life me. Has... I don't want to say broken me. Has driven me to a point where it's driven me to the point of almost giving up. And I have to say, as far as, I mean, when I say the KickVic side, what I mean is debating with them. I'm not talking about covering them. Because I am going to be continuing my coverage of them. Well, provided I'm not blocked by anybody. But I mean, as far as debating with them goes, I'm done doing that. I'm done doing that from here on out. I'm just going to be covering the situation as bits and pieces come up. But if anyone has any articles or stuff like that they want me to cover, please don't hesitate to send me a DM on Twitter, because, you know, I mean, about the situation. If you want me to cover anything about this situation that you think needs to be, then send me a Twitter DM about it and stuff like that. All right, so that was just my whole 2 cents on this whole situation about what happened last night, and, you know, just stuff like that. If you guys, again, if you guys stand with Vic Mignogna and you support his cause, and you, as we do, stand with Vic, then go on ahead and hit the subscribe button, like this video, spread it around as well. I think I might have forgotten to say that in the last video. Just spread this around to social media and stuff like that so that everyone can see it, because this information needs to be heard, not just from the big guys, but from the small ones. And I'm grateful for everyone out there who's been supporting this content. I'm so grateful for that. Honestly, when I first started this, I didn't think it would get any traction whatsoever. But I'm eternally grateful. I'm forever grateful to you guys for your support, and for the people that you are. So, yeah, like I said, if you want to be up to date, hit the subscribe button. If you find anything that you want me to cover, again, send me a Twitter DM. And go check the other creators out. I'm going to be, again, like in all the other videos, their accounts are going to be linked down below so that you guys can see. And go check them out. Tell them that Mark sent you, or Dragon Fist. I don't really care what name you use for me on here. And yeah, just keep standing with Vic. Keep fighting the fight. Keep fighting the fight. And until next time, God bless. Later.